You had a nice tactical find in this game. Let's review. Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. In the Scotch game, d4 gains space in the center and attacks the e5 square twice. E takes d4 opens up the center, and is somewhat forced given that white was attacking the pawn twice, and protecting with d6 doesn't work out. Bishop c4 develops the bishop to an active square, attacks the f7 pawn and prepares castling. The bishop joins the board early, building a strong opening for black. You block the check from an opposing bishop. This is an equal trade. You captured back. This moves the bishop to safety. You missed an opportunity to castle kingside. The pawn is now adequately defended. Your pawn is undefended, so this move loses material. This misses an opportunity to capture a free pawn. Castling protects your king and activates your rook. Black develops the knight and attacks the center. You permitted the opponent to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This permits the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. You are forcing your opponent to isolate a pawn. Recaptures. Now your opponent can't stop you from winning material if you make the right moves. This threatens to win a rook through a fork. You overlooked an opportunity to win material through a tactic. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You overlooked an opportunity to force the loss of castling rights. This misses a better way to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. This permits the opponent to force the loss of castling rights. You are forcing your opponent to lose castling rights. This gives away a free pawn. You captured that free pawn. Right on target. This is the way to win material. This evades the check from the bishop. You no longer have a clear win, but your position remains superior. Takes back. You gave away your better position, and now your opponent has the upper hand. This is the only move that works. This steps away from the checking queen. You are threatening to checkmate the king. This is the only good move. This develops a piece while also winning a tempo on a queen. You missed an opportunity to force very weak isolated doubled pawns. Recaptures. Recapturing. This allows the opponent to eventually win material. You trade off equal material. This move weakens the pawn structure. This is a good time for you to get out of trouble. This allows the opponent to win a pawn through a fork. Nice fork. You'll be winning a pawn. This defends the attacked pawn. Nice find. You found the only move in this position. This steps away from the checking rook. That pawn was yours for the taking. One more piece joins the action. You captured a free pawn. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Your move provides an escape square for your king. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. You are threatening to tactically win a rook. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. Your rook takes an open file, a good way to activate the rook. Black was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. You step your king away from the checking rook. One of the best moves. You had a better option, but this is not bad. This threatens to capture a bishop and win material. You overlooked an opportunity to block an attack on a vulnerable bishop. This gives away a free rook. You captured a free rook. You take back. Takes back. With that move, you offer to trade pieces. This moves the rook to safety. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. A solid choice. Passed pawns must be pushed. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of... Yes, this is the way. A very strong play. Good job. That's what I would have played. Trading pawns is a good strategy for black. You captured back. One of the best moves. This is a good time for you to get out of trouble. This defends the attacked pawn. You found a safer square for your rook. A solid choice. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. Nice. Definitely the right move. A very strong play. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. Very precise. Yes, this is the way. One of the best moves. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. That's fine. Nice. You found a way to win a rook. This is the strongest option. Recapturing. This makes a passed pawn. This rook move keeps an eye on the pawn while staying active. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Good job. That's what I would have played. Pushing a passed pawn. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. A solid choice. Passed pawns must be pushed. Pushing a passed pawn. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. This is the way to win a rook. This is the only move that works and you found it. Recaptures. Your pawn reaches the back rank and promotes to a queen. This is not the right idea. Nice. You continue. Your move always feels nice to win.